morning, Miss Stewart. My name is Chloe Davidson. I will be the PSW helping you out today with partial bath. I'm just going to check her bracelet ID to make sure I have the right client. And could you confirm your date of birth with me? Awesome, thanks. Perfect, so now I've confirmed I have the right patient and I have work clients, all right? And I have all of these supplies all ready to go. And I have checked my water temperature, and it's good to go. So I'm just gonna raise the bed rails because Miss Stewart requires bed rails during bed baths. So I will raise those. I will also raise her a little bit. And now I'm good to go with the face. Of course with the face, we're not going to use any soap. So perfect. I will first start off by just laying down a towel so that I don't get a mess all over. Perfect. And I'll start with the eyes. And you just let me know if there's any pain or discomfort. And just let me know if the water gets too cold or anything like that. Awesome, so I'll start with the far eye. If you could close that for me. Perfect. And another portion of the cloth, get the other eye. And then of course the rest of the face. And then the neck and the ears as well on both sides. Awesome. So now we will move on to further care. For the rest of this, Ms. Stewart will need to be undressed. So we're going to try and keep her covered as much as possible throughout this. So first things first, I'm just going to ask her to sit up so I can undo the back of her gown. Awesome. And that's all done. And then I will now begin to remove the clothing, remembering rough. So remove the unaffected side first. She has left-sided weakness due to arthritis, so that's this side. So we are going to remove that arm first. So then that way she can use that arm to help us get the other one out as well. Awesome, so I'll pull this down and I'll just get the unaffected side first out. Awesome, thank you for your help, Miss Stewart. Then we'll go ahead and get the other side, making sure to keep her covered. And she's gonna help us out a little here. Perfect, thank you, Mrs. Stewart. And then I'm going to go ahead and I will remove your gown. And I will throw this out. And I'm just going to put a bath blanket on her to help keep her covered and warm. Of course, before all this, I would have performed hand hygiene. Forgot to clarify that. So we just pull everything out like that. Awesome. So now we will start with her chest. And now I'm going to be using soap. Here, and then I'm gonna get the far breast. I'm gonna make sure to lift it up, get underneath. Oh, wait, I forgot to put down my towel. Sorry, down my towel. So I'm not making a mess. And I've got my soap and my water on here. I'm gonna displace the right breast, and wash under there. Pull it around gently. Then I'm going to rinse it off. And dry it off. And then the same thing with the other breast. And soap. And get under it. And then rinse it off. And make sure it's all dry. And I'm just going to move down to your stomach here, Miss Stewart. So I'll put that up. So long strokes. And then rinse it off. And pat dry gently. Putting it back up. And now we will move on to Miss Stewart's right arm, which is her forearm. I'll place the towel underneath it like that. And water and soap, and I'll start with her hands and her fingers, making sure to get in between each one. And then long strokes upwards. Get the shoulder. Make sure to get under the armpit. Might be a little ticklish. And then make sure to rinse it all off, of course. And dry it all off. Awesome. And I'm going to move over to your left side now. So you just let me know if there's any pain or discomfort, since she has arthritis on her left side. That's bad. Perfect. And soap. Get in between your fingers. Long strokes. Rinse that off. Make sure you're all dry. Okay, awesome. So now, Miss Stewart, I'm just going to change her water before I do pericare. So I'm just going to make sure you're all comfortable here, because I'll just have to leave you for a minute to go get new water. Awesome. So I will go do that. And so I'll change my water. And I'll check the temperature, make sure that it's all good. And it is. So now I'm going to perform hand hygiene and put on my gloves, because we're going to be doing pericare. Okay. So Miss Stewart is incontinent, so she has a soaker pad and incontinence briefs. So we just have to be mindful when cleaning of how to properly deal with that. So I'm just going to expose you a little bit here, okay? And I'm going to put my towel underneath so I don't make a mess. And first things first, I'm going to undo her incontinence briefs, and I will roll them like so towards the back. So that way when she rolls over, I can get them without any mess. At the same time, I'm also going to roll the soaker pad in, so that way when she rolls over, I can also get that out as well easily. And I'll place this here, and I'll try and use everything as much to cover her. And then I will start with the middle of the labia, lips, and I will go downwards. It's very important to go downwards. And I might need a couple of strokes, making sure to change the portion of my cloth. And then I'm going to get the far side. And the closer side. Making sure it's all rinsed off and all dry. Perfect. So now I will just cover you back up like so. And now I'm going to roll you over. It would have been more preferable if I was on the other side, just then that way she could have used her right arm to hold on to the bed rail. But in my circumstance, that isn't possible. So you are going to roll over onto your right side for me. And just help me out as much as possible. And we'll just gently roll you over like so. And now at this point I will remove the incontinence briefs and I will dispose of them in the proper receptacle. I'm just going to put these back though because I'm pretending they're my new ones. And so now we would do the buttocks area. And again, this is also very important to make sure you're doing long strokes outwards, not inwards, of course. So we would do that, and do that. And then in circular motion around the buttocks. Making sure it's rinsed all off. Oh, I forgot my towel, sorry. Pretend like my towel was there. And dry it all off. And oh, my soaker pad's still there. I would have placed my soaker pad. And like so. Here's a new one that I'm going to place under Miss Stewart. And I'm going to roll it a little bit, so that way when she rolls over, it's easier for me to pull it through. And now I've done the buttocks area, and since she's incontinent, I do want to make sure, of course, that she has emptied her bowels and bladder before doing this, so that we're not making a huge mess as much as possible. But of course, you can't always deal with that. So then, I'm now going to remove my gloves since I'm done with my peri-care. And I will dispose of those. And I will also now perform proper hand hygiene. And I will change my water. Before changing my water, I'm just going to check in with Miss Stewart. How are you doing? Are you okay there? Awesome. I'm just going to go change my water. And perfect. Again, remembering to check the temperature, and it's all good. So now I am just going to get her back here. And again, long strokes, and we want to go up and around the shoulders, like so, up and around. And this is a good time to check on the skin because this is a larger area to look at. And Miss Stewart's skin looks great to me. I'm not noticing any rashes. She hasn't said anything about pain. I don't see any swelling or anything of that sort. Again, make sure to keep an eye on that throughout the whole bed bath, because it's not just the back that can get bruises and swelling and rashes. Make sure to rinse that all off. Make sure that she's all dry. And now I am going to perform a small back massage with some lotion. Miss Stewart has her own lotion that she would like me to use, so I'm going to use that. And again, same as with the cleaning, we do long strokes up and over the shoulders, like so. And we'll do that for a couple of minutes, more than a couple of minutes, but yeah. And awesome. So now I'm just going to put on her incontinence briefs. I didn't want her sitting in them while I did the back massage because I don't want them to get wet. So now put them over there and through as much as possible. And I'll do up this side while I can. What if we lift this and dispose of that. This is a new gown. And I will just roll Miss Stewart back onto her back here. Awesome, thank you. And I'll fix the soaker pad at this point, making sure that it's pulled out all the way. Perfect. And I will also make sure that her incontinence briefs are all done up properly and that she's comfortable. And at this point, she's all done her bed bath, but we need to get her dressed. So we're going to remember dress affected side first. So this is a new gown for Miss Stewart. And I'm gonna get her to help me, and we're gonna start with the left side because that is her affected side. And she's gonna use this other arm to help as much as possible. And then the other arm. At this point I'll remove this, making sure to keep her covered the whole time. Oh, and I forgot to mention I'm in a room, so when I did first come into the room, I closed the door. It is a private room, so there's no one else in here. If there were any curtains or anything like that, I would have closed them as well. That goes in there. Awesome. So if you can just help me, I'm gonna get her to sit up now so I can do up the strings. Awesome. And at this point, I'm just gonna fix her hair because we've rolled over a couple of times, probably we've messed it up. So we're just gonna comb that gently, making sure not to pull on any hairs. And awesome. You did great, Miss Stewart. And that's all I have for you today. So I'll tuck you back in here. And I will make sure that you have the call bell near you. We're just gonna pretend it's on the wall here. And I'm gonna attach it right beside you here. Can you see that? There you go, you looked over, you can see the call bell. Perfect, if you need anything, let me know. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for your cooperation, and yeah, have a great day. Thanks.